Golden Opportunities is paid for by Elder Productions.
Hello, I'm Lori Steiner. Welcome to Golden Opportunities.
Today, we'll identify innovations in breast cancer patient care. Then, how safe is your money? We'll give advice to avoid getting taken. We'll share an artful way to leave a lasting legacy. Plus, we'll divulge the do's and don'ts of buying a car when you're an older adult. And don't sign your rights away. We'll investigate arbitration issues in care facility contracts.
It's time to get GOing, so pull up a chair and join us at our kitchen table for Golden Opportunities. Breast cancer is a major concern of adult women, so it's good to know that the leader in breast health services in the Midwestern region is right here in Cleveland at University Hospitals. But how did they take the lead? Dr. Donna Plecha has joined us in the UH Broadcast Center to tell us. Dr. Plecha is a director of breast imaging at the Breast Health Services in Seidman Cancer Center here at University Hospitals. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now UH stands out in this area because your program is value-based. So what does that mean?
That means that we are patient-focused on each individual patient, and we treat patients individually depending on what's best for them.
Okay. And you have a whole team of doctors that help the patients, don't you?
Yes, we do. Once a patient is diagnosed with breast cancer, we have a team including radiologists, surgeons, oncologists, radiation oncologists, geneticists, plastic surgeons, and social workers that all help us with the patient's journey.
Okay, so it's all about the needs of the patient throughout this breast cancer issue, right? So how do you do that?
Well, we actually have a conference weekly where we talk about every single patient that's diagnosed with breast cancer. We talk about what's best for that individual patient, look at all the studies that are open at university hospitals, and see what the patient may benefit from.
Okay, so can you give us some examples of how that works with patients?
Well, if there is a specific study, let's say if a patient has receptors on her breast cancer that are triple negative, we may have a study specifically for that, and so we'll lead her that way to see if that's something she might be interested in doing. We have a study currently where we're looking at different types of MRI sequences to see if we can predict response to preoperative chemotherapy. So there's many different options out there for different patients.
And some patients are kind of nervous about the whole thing or can't get to their appointments and stuff. So how do you serve those people who are having trouble kind of getting into the whole swing of the breast cancer checks and what needs to be done?
Well, once they're diagnosed, there's a navigator that helps them through and get to all their different appointments. And everyone works as a team so that it's everybody knows what everybody else is doing for that patient's care.
Is there a way to get fast results for people who are a little nervous about what's going on?
Well, on the screening side of things, before the patient is diagnosed, when a patient is just getting her screening mammogram, we have a couple of different options. We have an option where the patient can come in, and if she wants her results right then and there, she can wait. And approximately 30 minutes after we take the mammogram, the patient gets her results in person before she leaves the breast center. And then if she needs any extra imaging, we may be able to do it on that same day.
Oh, that's handy.
It is.
And you have drop-in appointments?
We also have some walk-in appointments at most of our sites, so it's great if a patient is just kind of near one of our sites. If they want to drop in and get a mammogram, we're happy to accommodate them.
Okay, and you've got a particular study going on right now?
We do have a study right now that is on the screening side. So patients who have dense breast tissue, there's a national study, and we're one of the sites in the study looking at a 10-minute or less MRI and comparing that to the 3D mammogram and seeing which one might pick up cancers more. Smaller cancers or more aggressive cancers, and we're trying to get patients to come in with dense breasts. They'll get both the 3D mammogram and the 10-minute MRI exam of the breast on the same day.
All right. University Hospitals is leading the way in breast health services, and their innovative services and continuing research demonstrate that they're committed to remaining a leader. To learn more, use the information that's coming up next. And my thanks to Dr. Plecha for joining us today.
Thank you.
For more information, call the Center for Lifelong Health at University Hospitals at 844-312-LIFE, that's 5433, or visit www.uhhospitals.org/lifelonghealth. Next, scams and fraud and identity theft. Oh my! But first, we all know Paris as the City of Light. But how did the capital of France first come to be called Paris? We'll translate the answer for you when we return.
Hilltop Village Apartments is retirement living at its best. Residents enjoy a wide variety of activities and living services with all large first-floor apartments, private screened-in patios with beautiful park views, daily dining room meals, free laundry facilities, 24-hour staff, and so much more. Enjoy safe, comfortable independence at a very affordable price. Call today for a tour and learn how you can get your first month's rent free. Hilltop Village Apartments, retirement living at its best.
Paris was settled by a people called Parisi, so the name was easily noted, and its nickname, the City of Light, refers to its role in the Age of Enlightenment and to the fact that it was one of the first cities in Europe to lighten up with gas street lights.
The phone rings. The caller says he's from the IRS, and you better pay now or else. What should you do? Mark Sipos says, hang up. Mark is here with warnings about the many ways others are after your information and your money. Mark is a tax accountant with the Lineweaver Financial Group. So welcome back to the show here.
Thank you for having me.
A call from the IRS is absolutely terrifying. You know, how do we know that it's really not from them?
Well, the IRS doesn't do business that way. However, all the scammers out there will use any means they can, email, social media, text messages, to try and gain information from you. Over the past several years, there's been thousands of taxpayers and millions of dollars out there in tax scams, plus your identity can be stolen as well. I think the best way is to warn people about these is to let them know what the IRS won't do. The IRS won't come to your house with law enforcement and threaten imprisonment or jail time. They're not going to take your driver's license. They will never demand payment immediately over the phone by credit card or debit card as well. So there's certain things that you know the IRS won't do that could help you in this situation.
But they do use the snail mail, I guess, the U.S. postal mail, right? So
yes.
How do you know if you get something in the mail that it's really actually from the IRS then?
Well, the first thing you should do if you get a notification is, of course, contact your tax specialist, and they can help you through it. But if you don't use a tax specialist, make sure you look up the IRS number independently from other sources, such as their website, the phone book, to make sure it's a legitimate address and also phone number, because the scammers will put their own address and a P.O. box for the demand payment. So you don't want that to happen, obviously.
And if they've given you a phone number to call in that letter and it's
Correct.
a scammer, you're going to call the scammer.
Right.
And talk to
Right.
them and give you information. All right. So, but they do use, I know these scammers use extraordinarily heavy-duty scare tactics. I mean,
Yes.
It's really scary for people to be getting a phone call like that or even a letter like that.
Right.
So, and this is, be a problem for the IRS. Are they doing something to counteract this kind of fraud?
Yes, last year they instituted putting a 16-digit code on W-2s. It's not fully implemented yet, but that's like a personal identifier, so they know that it's you filing the tax return. Also, if you ever have identity theft, you can contact the IRS and they'll give you a 5-digit PIN that you include with the tax return so that, again, they know it's you. A lot of states are requiring this. So far, Ohio's only suggesting you use it, but you put your Ohio driver's license on the form as well, so they know it's you.
There's another way to tell.
Right.
And I know the IRS comes out with the dirty dozen tax scams every year, so
Yes.
has that hit the streets now?
Yes, they update that continually for any new scams. I think we have that on the screen for you. Mm-hmm. And that's at irs.gov on their website. And again, they continually update that, and they give you all the latest on how to avoid those scams.
Important to know that kind of stuff. And you've actually got a seminar coming up that talks a little bit more about those dirty dozen and some other things about taxation?
Yes, we're going to discuss all the dirty dozen list, as well as the Equifax crisis. And then we'll also talk about any kind of year-end tax planning tips, and if there's any new legislation on the horizon for you.
All right. Sounds like a really important seminar.
Yeah, and you can
attend.
contact us at our office or through
Are
our
reservations
website.
necessary?
Yes, you should call for a reservation. They fill up quickly, and that's on the screen for you, and we'd love to have you.
All right. Sounds like good information.
Great, thank you.
You already give your tax money to the IRS. Don't get taken by scammers wanting even more. Follow Mark's tips to stay safe. And for more help, attend a seminar or give him a call. His number's coming up next.
To find out more, call the Lineweaver Financial Group at 1-888-313-4009 or log on to www.lineweaver.net. Next, artistic license. Looking for places to go, things to do? Welcome to our community calendar. They've cornered the unique craft market at the Avant-Garde Art and Craft Show. To find your favorite unique handmade item created by artists and crafters, plan to shop at the Strongsville Show on November 11th. And to craft more information, call 440-227-8794 or click to www.avantgardeshows.com.
You'd love to support a nonprofit organization like the Cleveland Museum of Art, but you also need to protect your retirement income as well. There's actually a way to do both. Diane Strachan is here to tell us how to give and get. Diane is the Director of Development at the Cleveland Museum of Art. Hello,
Good morning.
Diane. Welcome
Good
to the
morning.
show.
Thank you.
Okay, you've got me intrigued. How can we give money and get money?
It's such a great idea to do this. So with the charitable gift annuity, we call them a CGA, many of the nonprofit organizations in the Cleveland area have this type of opportunity for donors. It's really a very simple contract between a donor and the organization. It doesn't require an attorney to execute that. It's a great way to leave a legacy for you and your family and still gain a fixed income for the rest of your life.
Okay, briefly, what does it mean?
It means that you provide irrevocable assets to an organization. For those assets, we provide to you an income stream for the rest of your life. It's a fixed rate.
Okay, so it sounds like some type of investment. How does it return compare really to other investments that you might be able to
They're
find?
typically a little bit more favorable than traditional assets, such as traditional opportunities such as treasury bonds or CDs, which only provide about 2 to 3%. So a charitable gift annuity is based upon a person's age.
Okay.
It's regulated by the American Council on Gift Annuities, and so the older you are, the higher the percentage of return, so up to 9% return.
Oh, that is much better. So now, if you're going to get into this gift annuity, do you have to have cash to put into it, or can you take assets you already have and move them around?
Yes, either way works. Traditional assets work as well for that, particularly if you're receiving variable rates on something. But a smart tax advantage way is to use appreciated securities. So with the market doing so well right now, if you use appreciated securities to fund a charitable gift annuity, not only are you receiving that charitable tax deduction in that year, you're mitigating your capital gains tax. And the capital gains tax is deferred over your lifetime as well.
Wow. Extra benefits even.
Extra,
So
absolutely.
do you have an example of how this actually would work for somebody?
Yes, let's take a look at one. Sure. We have one on the screen. So this would be somebody that's a typical donor of ours, age 78 years old. She's got a $50,000 CD that's about to mature. She's probably receiving about 2 to 3%. With the charitable gift annuity, we're going to pay her 6.4% return, or $3,200 annually. In the year of that gift, she'll receive a tax deduction of $23,750, and 78% of the payment that she receives for 10 and a half years is also tax-free as well. And of course, then when that person passes away, the proceeds go to the art museum to provide support in exhibitions or education or performing arts.
Okay, and you have a society that recognizes folks that do this,
indeed.
right?
So the Donor Legacy Society is a way in which we provide an opportunity to say thank you during your lifetime. It's really a great way that we can say thank you. You are leaving a legacy for the Cleveland Museum of Art. We invite you to an annual luncheon, behind the scenes experiences, and extra programs as well. And the charitable gift annuity, they're really so flexible because of the assets that we use, the amounts that are used, and the timing of the payments, so that we really have the opportunity to tailor any type of arrangement for anybody's personal financial needs.
It truly is a win-win-win for everybody. Charitable gift annuities are a way to give to a worthwhile organization without giving up important retirement income. To learn more, use the information that's coming up next. My thanks to Diane Straken for joining us today.
Thank you.
Learn more by calling the Cleveland Museum of Art at 216-421-7350 or visit www.clevelandart.org. Up next, don't get taken for a ride. It's time to get up and go, an exercise segment on golden opportunities.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Carbon from Breakout Fitness, and we're here today to show you how to do a donkey kick. This is an excellent exercise. It's not only going to work and strengthen that lower back area, but also it's going to build the glutes. You ready?
I need this.
Let's do it. All right, we're going to start on all fours. Here in the studio, we have our exercise mats. You at home, go ahead and grab a spot on the floor. We want our hands to be shoulder width apart. Our knees should be about the same. What we're looking for here is we're going to bring our knees straight in, and then we're going to try to keep a 90-degree bend as we bring it straight up and out. Perfect, okay? So we're going to bring it in and then up and out. We want 12 to 15 repetitions. Let's go ahead. We can switch and try the other side. In and out. All right, how you feeling, Lori?
Really good.
Looks good. All right, Lori's doing a slightly easier version of this.
I need a slightly easier version of this.
There you go. Those beginners at home, this is a way that you can build that muscle and still strengthen the same area, okay? 12 to 15, 2 to 3 times a week. And now it's your turn to get up and go.
For your copy of the exercise booklet, send $1 for postage to Golden Opportunities, 6105 Parkland Boulevard, Suite 140, Mayfield Heights, Ohio, 44124.
Buying a car can be exciting and unnerving. Katie Smith says dealers know that and they use it to their advantage, especially with older adults. But she has tips for making sure you take home the best deal. Katie is known as Katie the Car Lady and works at Diamond Auto Lease and Sales. So welcome to the show here today.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Now, you work for a dealer and you're still giving away, you're spilling all the secrets. So why is that?
I do want to clarify I work for an independent dealer. I'm not tied to any manufacturer. I would also like to say I believe that an educated consumer makes a much better decision, they have a much better buying experience, and they leave feeling empowered. And I think that's really important no matter what age you are.
Okay. If you help the consumer, you're going to help the dealers too, probably, right?
Exactly. And there's no, I want to clarify really quickly that it's not about the dealer not making money. I think there needs to be a mutual agreement. It has to be that the consumer can't expect the dealer to lose money and the dealer can't expect the consumer to overpay. And so there has to be a medium that they find.
All right, so what do we do as a car buyer when we're going to go in and look for a new car?
So there's a couple things I always recommend to a lot of clients, but especially, you know, my retired adults. One of the first things is use the buddy system. The buddy system is a great way to have someone come in with you, and you can even make it a little adventure. I tell if you have a parent that is aging and who is buying a car, make it a fun outing. You don't want people to feel like they can't do it on their own, because they still can. It's just having somebody to help you navigate that as you walk through that.
Okay.
Do a little research. A lot of people can be sometimes intimidated by a computer. Well, if you don't have one, you can go to the library. It's free. And you can just do some Googling and find out, you know, what are the things that, so you don't go in there totally, you know, blindsided. The last thing I think that's really important in a tool is write down the questions you really want to ask before you go on a little piece of paper, and then leave space for you to write the answer from the salesman or the saleswoman. It's really important, I think, because when you leave and you go home and you want to review it, you can remember exactly what you wrote down.
And don't be afraid to ask those questions.
Absolutely. Ask all the questions.
Okay, so you've got your buddy, you've done your research, you kind of know what kind of car and what the safety ratings and all those kinds of things are. So can we go out and buy a car today?
I would say you can shop. Go and shop, see what you like, know what your budget is, stick to it, get all your information together. I have a rule of 24 hours. I really believe that once you gather all your information, one of the most beautiful things about us as humans is we are emotional, and we love to do that, get excited. Emotions should not make financial decisions. And so get your information together, shop, see what you like, your colors, all that cool stuff, and then take 24 hours, go home, disconnect, and really review. And take it to your financial advisor if you're thinking about paying cash, or take it to your family if they're helping you manage your money. Look at what the options are. I think that's really important, to disconnect from that emotion.
Okay, what are some signs that we maybe should just walk away from this one?
Well, walking away there's 3 things I think that are really important in knowing that maybe you need to take a breath, step away, go home. Maybe it's not a good deal, maybe it is, but get out of there for a minute. One is if you start feeling like something, your gut, everybody has a gut meter. And if your gut meter starts telling you, oh, something feels not right, I'm not sure, this isn't what I thought it was, I'm having a trust issue, say thank you very much. And take a break. Get up and leave. Go. You are allowed to leave. We can't change what other people. We do not have power over other people's actions, but we do have power over ours. And so that is something that you can get up and leave. One of the other things is I talked about emotion. That can go 2 ways. It can be, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I love this car. I want to take it home. It's amazing. Or it can be, oh my gosh, this is over what my budget is. This is too much. I'm tired. I've been here 3 hours. I'm feeling overwhelmed. Those are both 2 good reasons to leave. The last thing, and I really think this one's important, is once you've negotiated that deal, and I think the one thing I want to say about that is when you negotiate a deal, you negotiate on purchase price, not on payment. Numbers don't lie, and and I always tell people to negotiate that before your tax, title, and registration, because tax, title, and registration in the state of Ohio are not going to change. They are the same. They are the same 3 things in the state of Ohio, that your tax in the county you live in, your $250 doc fee, and your $33.50, which is title and registration. That will always stay the same. But anyway, when you get into that office and things start to change a little bit, right? My interest rate, it wasn't the payment I was quoted, that is a time to disconnect and leave, for sure.
Great information for our seniors here today.
Yes.
I really appreciate that. Thanks to Katie's tips, instead of buyer beware, you can be buyer aware. Follow her advice to get a great deal on a car and a great deal of peace of mind. To learn more, use the information that's coming up next.
Learn more by calling Katie the Car Lady at 216-514-3433 or click to www.katiethecarlady.com. Next, is arbitration eliminating your rights?
Right now, proton therapy, a revolutionary treatment for many types of cancer, is available for the first time in Ohio and only at University Hospital's Seidman Cancer Center. That's the future of cancer care. That's UH Seidman Cancer Center. Right now, the trusted experts of University Hospital's Seidman Cancer Center and the most advanced cancer-fighting technologies are in 17 community locations. That's leading-edge care where you're most comfortable. That's UH Seidman Cancer Center.
In a previous show, we discussed several pitfalls with signing assisted living or nursing home contracts. This week, we address a huge issue that will affect families with grievances against nursing homes, the mandatory arbitration clause. The laws have changed recently, and my law partner, Mike Solomon, is here to discuss the changes. Hey, so first, what's an arbitration clause in such a contract, and how is it a problem for the family?
Well, an arbitration clause in a contract, what happens if you have an accident, you're disputing what's happening at the long-term care facility. If you have an arbitration clause, you have to go before an arbitrator. If you don't have that, you get to go before a judge and a jury, and judges and juries tend to be a little bit more friendly to people who have been injured, and arbitrators tend to be more friendly to the the long-term care facility.
Okay, so how have the clauses been treated in the past?
Well, in the past, what's happened before they made this recent change, excuse me, is that they put the arbitration clause in the contract, but you could opt out of it. So, most people would opt out, and then they could use the court system if they needed, where if they left it in, then they'd have to go to arbitration.
So what happened recently in the law?
Well, the American Bar Association back in 2015 came out with a recommendation that they get rid of these arbitration clauses completely, don't allow them in the contract. And then CMS, the Center for Medicare and Medicaid, passed a regulation that basically said you can't put those in there anymore, and that would become effective sometime in 2016.
So what happened?
Excuse me. What happened was that the American Healthcare Association, excuse me, they went to court right before the regulation was supposed to become effective. They got the court to declare that it was invalid. Basically, the court said it may make sense to have a prohibition against arbitration, but that's Congress's job, not a government agency. So that was put on hold.
Okay, so that doesn't sound very good. Any more to this saga?
Yeah, well, what happened eventually is that then with the new administration, they came out with new regulations and they flipped it. They went ahead and said that not only can they have that arbitration clause in the contract, they can mandate that you can't get into the facility unless you agree to arbitration. And that became, the comment period ended a few months ago, and now we'll have to see if they finalize. But if they finalize it, they'll be able to put it in your contract. You won't be able to refuse it. You'll have to take it to get in the facility.
And that sounds not so good for folks these days. Right. In addition to the other pitfalls in nursing home admission agreements, now families' rights to legal recourse against the facility may very well be limited to arbitration under this new ruling. Please be sure to read any agreement before you sign it and seek the assistance of an elder law attorney to uphold your rights. Please contact Mike for more information. The number's next.
Call Solomon, Steiner, and Peck at 1-888-236-5173 for more information or to schedule a speaker for your organization. Or log on to www.ssnplaw.com.
Thanks for joining us. On next week's show, 'tis the season to stay healthy. We'll unwrap reminders to keep you feeling fine. Then, is it time to let nature take its course? We'll determine if a dam needs to be torn down. And volunteers are vital to keep organizations operating well. We'll salute these unpaid yet priceless people. But until then, please remember to make the most of your golden opportunities.
If you'd like to join our kitchen conversation, visit our website, www.goldenopportunities.tv. Like us on Facebook. Call us at 440-742-GO-TV or email us at kitchen@goldenopportunities.tv. We'd love to hear from you.
Golden Opportunities is paid for by Elder Productions.